As British society became more liberal and secular, defence and support for traditional conservative values went down. And that doesn't just apply to church or Christianity. That applies to our Western values, to our traditional values. The basic concept of Britishness has gone out. Now, for those of you who don't really visit London much or haven't come to London in a long time, you might wonder what is happening in central London. If I go to Westminster, if I go to visit the House of Parliament or the Elizabeth Tower, the Big Ben, what would I see? This? Now, I am going to talk about that video in a second. It's a Shia ritual of Muslims, the Shia Muslims. But the reason I mention the lack of support or defense of our values, even basic Judeo-Christian values that built the West, is because when society became more liberal and secular, it became a blank canvas. So those who are defenders of the liberal society, and I'm a classical liberal myself, they thought, well, that means everybody could just live in harmony, people will be different, but they can all get along. That was fine for a while. But when you then introduce people with different values, different worldview, and different agendas, well, they're going to come and they're going to see the blank canvas and say, okay, so it seems like we're allowed to do whatever we want. We can be whatever we want. That's good. But they also don't really have any foundation, this new British society. It's modern Britain's British society, thanks to Tony Blair. And not just Blair, but all the others as well. So what do? They say, okay, maybe they need more Islam. Maybe they need our ideology. Maybe they need to be introduced to the right way. And this is why they are taking over. And it's not a conspiracy theory because they are saying it openly. They're preachers of the Islamic centers and mosques that are still being developed. They are getting special treatment, special protection by the police. We are building more Islamic centers. And this is happening to our country. And then you get these weird rituals. Watch this again. Now, what you see there is a group of Shia Muslims, not even Sunnis. The Sunnis are obviously the majority. The problem we have is that for a long time, a few decades ago, when you had migrants or refugees, but specifically let's talk about refugees because the majority of people who come here from these cultures are saying that they are asylum seekers. They're not economic migrants, even though in reality they are economic migrants. But the point of it is that they say, well, for example, I'm gay, I can't be in my country because that religion tells me off, for example. Or I'm sick and tired of that backwards traditional society. I want to come to the West because it's more modern and advanced and more secular and I can do whatever I want. Why is it that they continue to come here and not only do this, and this again, do whatever you want, right? Free society, that's what they told us. But they also continue to fly their own flag. The original flag of their countries and their governments. The same governments that they complain about. Well, I really hate Afghanistan now. I really hate Iran now, or Iraq. But then they come and fly the flags of those places proudly instead of flying the Union flag. Church is going down, but it's not being replaced by secularism. It's being replaced by another religion, by political ideology. This is the problem. And of course, I'm going to get called names again. It doesn't matter. You have to tell the truth. And I'm a defender of classical liberalism. I would have wanted this liberal secular society to work if actual harmony was happening, if actual common values, one culture. You could have multi-ethnicities if you want to, but you should have one culture. When you leave your house, you are British. Don't care what you do in your bedroom, as long as it's legal. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.